Hello everyone, and peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Please let me know if you have any issue from your side. Today we are going to examine the lies mentioned always by Mohammedans about our belief. You know, Islam as a satanic cult, and actually what we will show you today is a clear proof that Islam is from Satan. You know, when I speak about Mohammedans, I show what Mohammedan believe from their books. What Muhammad say word by word. But when Muhammadan they speak about us, you will notice that every single Muhammadan who have a beard, he lie non-stop about Christianity. And there is a reason. They want to make their children believe that Christianity teach nothing but evil. Christians are bad. And actually, this is what the Quran says. Today is an example of how satanic Islamic religion is. This is the Qurani Yuka, very well-known figure in the Muslim world. He is going to tell us what the Christian believe. So we will take what he say and we will compare. And I want everyone, Muslims and Christians, and Muslims before the Christians, to leave your comment after and tell me who lied. Who lied? According to this scumbag, and according to every scumbag sheikh in the Muslim world who teach such a fallacy about Christians, we Christians are allowed to go and have all kind of sin, and yet we will go to heaven. When Christian they say, according to Muslims, we believe that Jesus paid for our sin, that means we can sleep around, we can rape, we can kill, we can cheat, we can steal. Yeah, because Jesus, he paid for our sin. Is that something I am fabricating? Listen carefully.
My question is that when a Christian says Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, paid for their sins, and we tell them that if we were to rob or rape, no problem because it's paid for. But what about Islam? A Muslim commits these sins too, but is told to never lose hope in Allah and ask for forgiveness, because surely the best of sinner is the one who repents. With the Junaid there asked the question that what is the difference between Islam and Christianity? When the Christians say that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has paid for our sins, and we counter them and saying that if he's paid for our sins, then we can rob, we can cheat, we can rape and paid for, no problem, so it's illogical. So won't that same thing apply for the Muslim when we say in Islam?
Did you hear it? Hey people, did you hear it? Christians, this is what they believe. You can rape, you can kill, you can steal because Jesus paid for your sin. This is what the Christianity teach. You know, I remember in school there was a Muslim kid. He's a nice person. You know, actually his family are nice. He was very you know, he's a good person. He came to me once and he said, "I want to tell you something, but you promised me you don't do anything." I said, "Like what?" He said, "You don't get angry and do, I know you." So I said, "Okay, what?" He said, "Promise me first that you will not do any harm." I said, "Okay, go. Tell me what." He said, "The Islamic teacher taught us that the Christian priest, he have to sleep with the woman when he married her to the man first night. The man have to take his wife second day. The priest have to F her first." And here you notice how since a very early age, the Muslims teach their kids absolute disgusting lies. In fact, you Muslims, you have to give your wife to your prophet first. Isn't it says in the privilege number 10, if the eyes of the prophet fall into a woman, her husband must divorce her so the prophet can F her? That is in your cult. And here we hear the same. lying, saying that we Christians believe that we can have all kind of immoral activities, all kind of sexual activities, all kind of sin and garbage, and then we go to heaven. That's it, because Jesus, he paid for our sin. But where we can find that, Zakir Naik. Muslims, where we can find Jesus saying that we can go to heaven, or not only that, any of the disciples, that we can go to heaven even if we are fornicators, even if we are killers, even if we are thieves, even if we are cheaters. Where we can find that? Where you are getting your fact from? Is that a fact or a fiction, or just you are promoting lies about Christians? Listen carefully to what he said.
Is the one who repents. With the Junaid asked the question that what is the difference between Islam and Christianity? When the Christians say that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has paid for our sins, and we counter them and saying that if he's paid for our sins, then we can rob, we can cheat, we can rape, and paid for, no problem, so it's illogical. So won't that same thing apply for the Muslim? Then we say in Islam, Allah is most graceful, Allah is most forgiving. So if you do a sin, you repent and Allah will forgive you. Isn't it the same? There is a world of a difference between the two. There's the difference of chalk and cheese. On the face of it, you may think it is the same, but there's a world of a difference. As far as the Christian concept is that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, died for the sins of humanity, this is not mentioned in the Bible. It is the wrong teaching of the church.
Listen, it's not mentioned in the Bible that Jesus died for our sin. Before I continue, there's an idiot, he said. An idiot, he said in the text, that you can find that, what Zakir Naik is saying, in all over. Let me show you how. Give me a second. Just to show you how people lie. Scumbags, liars, you will go to hell. He said you can find it in all Protestant and evangelical theology. Show me. Scumbag. Theology for Christians exists only in the Bible. We don't have other books. We are not Muslims who follow Sahih al-Bukhari and then we say this is da'if. We are not Muslims who say Sunan al-Durami is da'if. We are not Muhammadan who we make da'if as we wish and we make authentic as we wish. We have a book, every single word in it is authentic. Show me, you scumbag. It's a challenge for you. I'm waiting. You can find it all over. You see, I'm not judging Islam because of Zakir Naik. I will get Zakir Naik busted by what Mohammed said. Very simple. Not by what a Muslim in YouTube said. Get me busted and show me where the Bible teaches so. You are in my Skype? Okay, I will take you after. You know what? I will open my Skype right away. I want to take you just for a snack. Give me a second. Is that you, the one who called himself Osama? Is that you? I have only one person saying the F word to me. Where are you in Skype? What's your name in Skype? Don't waste my time. Okay, enter he posts his Skype. We continue. Again, you lied. You said to me, you are in my Skype, but I went to Skype, there's nothing. My Skype is the one listed in the info. And let me check to be sure that you got, there you go. Yeah, correct one. All right. Where are you? This is Osama? Okay, okay. Let us call Osama. So you in the chat you have a Western name in Skype, you are a Muslim name? Okay, no problem. Islamic way. This is the same guy, he said to me the F word before. I mean, you see, we have to take what you say for sure, because you are the one who knows. I mean, this is the guy, CP, you are going to take my call today or what? I won't say the F word or the S word, don't worry. Scumbag. Don't, you are the one who want to teach me about religion, you donkey son of Mut'a. You are the one who keep calling me saying the F word. You want to show me that we are the sinners? You son of the effing word. You cannot even keep your mouth clean. And you want to school us the Christians. Come back like a prophet. I thought you are somebody, you know, I can have a conversation with. Christian Prince, I'm not going to say the F word no more. Why? Did you wash your mouth with the shit of Muhammad? What happened? Did you drink camel urine and now your mouth is cleaner? Isn't it? This is what you say to me every time. Son of Muta. So listen at those guys. We Christian, we have no methodology. We have no books. We have no priest. We have no bishop. We have nobody except what the Bible. The Bible says, whoever bring other than the scriptures, let him be cursed. Which means even if someone claims to be Christian, he claims something, he is going to be cursed for his lies. Let us listen to Zakir and Yuka, and then we start getting them busted from their books.
That they claim that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, Nauz Billah, is the begotten Son of God, and he died for the sins of humanity, which is totally against the teachings of the Bible, and I've discussed that in my lectures.
It's against teaching of
To
Bible.
counter them, we say that if Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, is paid for the sins of human being, that means today I can rob, I can cheat, I can rape, I can do all the sins, because Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has already died for our sins.
I see. I mean, do you see how the son of Mut'a they lie? Do you see how they lie about you? Do you see why we should fight the devil Muhammad? Do you see why we should spit at Muhammad? Do you see why we should shit on Muhammad? If Muhammad was a good person, you will not find a follower of Muhammad lying about us. This is the same guy. This is why it took me a little bit of time, because I just decided, by the way, I was drinking, you know, like, you know, you take some drink will make you relax, like green tea, you know. I'm trying to be the sad guru, you know. I want a meditation, you know, like, so I said to myself, let me meditate and see what is in YouTube. And then I open YouTube, and I remember that this guy, last time we played his video, he was saying this. Oh, this is a good topic. And then I search for the same scumbag telling us how your sin can be forgiven. Shall we watch? Who is the one who his sin can be forgiven just by saying Shahada? 100 note. Listen carefully. This is the same scumbag. Not different person, not different opinion, not different Muslim. He will explain to you how your sin is divided and how your sin is forgiven and how your sin will be eaten. Allah give you notes.
I'll give you a few examples. Number one, if there are total 199 US dollars.
199, an example, we have notes. 199 US dollars. I mean, even their notes about Allah is in dollars. Hey, Zakir Naik, aren't you going to join a brisk? So you will be the slave of the Chinese and the Russian? Okay, go. So I will give you an example. $199. Okay.
Divided into 64 notes.
Divided into 64 notes. Take note, please. 64. This guy, he studied it. I mean, he made it like, he's $119, 64 notes. I don't know how that will work, but we will see.
The 64 notes, if you total all the value of these 64 notes, it is $199.
Okay.
And I distribute the notes to a few people. Some get 10 notes, some get 20 notes, some get 30 notes, some get less, some get more. A normal person who may not be aware of the notes and the value will say whoever gets the most notes, number of notes, is the richest person. No, it's not like that. We have to see what is the value of each note.
Exactly. Guys, each note, remember, presents sin. How much sin will be forgiven. So the one who have a higher note is the one erase more sin. This is Islam. Okay, tell us what is the highest note will forgive sin.
In these 64 notes, one note is of $100.
In those 64 notes, one note only is $100 alone, which means more than the 50%. Now you understand why he said 199. So now you pass the 50. You pass. One note, you pass. What is the one note which is $100? The Quran, you can tell us, please.
In these 64 notes, one note is of $100. One note is of $20. The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger.
That's it. You pass. You are in heaven. If you have Shahada, this is the 100 note. You pass the 50% because remember, 199 notes. What is 50%? Is 199 divided 2. So the 100 note is more than the 50%. You pass. Just say Shahada, you believe in Allah and the scumbag Muhammad, and you go to heaven. That's it. Look at his face. The other person they make a friends, and you want to make fun of me. First of all, this is not me, and it's not my voice. I don't know he can make my voice, but he make it. Simply, I think because he is supported by black magic. Zakir Naik, I did not use black magic to copy your voice, you idiot. Your voice is so stupid, it's funny. I like it. I use it. Turtle? Prince, I'm not a turtle. Shut up. I will give you $100 note, you go to heaven. What do you think? Prince, first of all, you are misquoting me. I said if you had $100, I don't mean $100. I mean the Shahada. So you mean the Shahada. The Shahada will take you to heaven. So those people, they are saying we are the one. If we say Shahada to Jesus, we go to heaven. That's it. Our sin is forgiven. It turned to be them. It turned to be the Abdul. Listen carefully. Let me repeat again. Maybe you are slow, like Mohammed.
The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners.
That's it.
And Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that Almighty. The number $20 bill, US dollar, is a person who prays 5 times a day.
Here we go. You have 125 bill. You way long behind going to heaven. You pray. $125. You just get $125 in your pocket after the one out of the 199. So what is left? I mean, that's it. I say Shahada and I pray 5 times a day. I'm going to heaven. I passed long time ago. What else? Kill us more.
Then there's one $10 note. There is two $5 note.
Uh-huh.
$10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity. $5 note is a person who fasts, and $5 note is a person who goes for Hajj.
Look, none of them about being good. None of the notes is about being good person. He go to Hajj, he got $10 note. He paid charity. He go. He fast Ramadan. He got $5 note. Do you see how easy the note is being distributed in the cult of the garbage of Muhammad? I mean, hold on. What the note? I'm not good in money exchange. Can you say it again?
Believe that there is only one God, and that God has got no partners.
Hold
is
on.
for a person who believes that there is only one God, to see what is the value of each note.
Uh-huh.
In these 64 notes, one note is of $100.
Yeah.
One note is of $20.
Okay.
The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God, and that God has got no partners, and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger
That's it.
of that Almighty. The number $20 bill,
Yeah.
US dollar,
Uh-huh.
is the person who prays 5 times a day. Then there's one $10 note. There is two $5 note. $10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity. $5 note is a person who fasts, and $5.
It turned to be fasting is the cheapest. The Muhammadan, okay, Zakir Naik, isn't it the one who says, just to show you how stupid this religion is? Your stupid God in the Quran said, the one who pray in the night of Al-Qadr is better than 83 years of a prayer. What do you mean $5? Are you giving discount now? Suddenly fasting the month of Ramadan is $5? What the heck? So 83 years of a prayer equal to that night, it turned to be $5 value? The night of the power is better than 1,000 months of a prayer. You shake it, you take it, you break it, you make it, you have it, it's 83 years. It turned to be $5. That's it. Sorry. False promise in the Quran. This is your stupid book. The guy did not do anything. He just prayed in the night of the power. He got 83 years deed of reward for praying in that night. And by the way, the Muslims do not even know which night. Muhammad, he forgot which one. Once Muhammad, he came from his bed, he started to and then he arrived to the Sahaba, the companions. Said, I just remember when the night of Qadr was. Hey, Prophet, tell us when. I forgot. It's in the hadith. Go watch it. The stupid donkey, he just run 15 minutes to tell them that he remembered when the night of the power is. Because they keep asking him when. And now he remember. So he run. And then when he arrived to them, he forgot. Like, what? Hey, Muhammad, how you forgot such a thing, brother? Did Allah cause him to forget? Remember, Allah caused you to forget the Quran too. I don't know if this is important, but I can show you a reference. This is how Muhammad take. This is a proof that Muhammad is not a problem. I mean, this guy is just a, mentally ill. How the most important thing, the most important date in Islam Muhammad could not remember it. And why Allah make him remember it and then he make him forget it? What a stupid religion. This is the night when supposedly the Quran came to Muhammad. Let me see if I can find the hadith in English. All right. The donkey cult. Look at this. The Prophet, he forgot it. He forgot, brother. Look at this. Look at the beautiful story. And now he started guessing. But I want to see the one where it says he was asleep and he woke up. Where is the story? Yeah, here it says, but it doesn't say the details. Let me see. Oh boy, oh boy. Where we can find it. Yeah, let us see this one. So guys, the Prophet, he remember when the night of the power is, but then in his way, there is two men, they were shouting. Okay? And that caused the Prophet to forget it. Have you ever heard of a stupid excuse like this? Imagine Jesus told me something very powerful. And then I go from my house. I see two men shouting to each other. I forgot. That Kutada, blah, 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 Prophet come out from to inform them about Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, but finding two Muslims disputing together. He said, I came out to inform you about the night of power, but those two men, they were disputing, I forgot about. And then he said, okay, you know what? Just it's going to be between this day and that day. In different hadith, Muhammad, he says it is in the first of the month. In different hadith, says he is in the middle. In different hadith, he says it is at the end of the month. Which one? Let us go back to Zakir Naik, shall we? Okay, Zakir Naik. Look at this face. So, the angels are talking there. Okay? So now who is the one who will go to heaven, brother? Is the one who get the 100 note, which is saying Shahada. And then there is a $25 note. And there is $10 note. Until now, none of them is about not to be a rapist or fornicator or filthy. All of them about doing rituals. And one of them is about saying things, which means saying Shahada. Very simple. I will play it again in case there is a Muhammad and he just enter.
In these 64 notes, one note is of $100. One note is of $20. The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners, and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that Almighty. The number $20 bill, US dollar, is a person who prays 5 times a day. Then there's one $10 note, there is two $5 note. $10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity.
Okay.
$5 note is a person who fasts, and $5 note is a person who goes for Hajj. The remaining, all if you put together, is $140. The remaining $59 are $1 bill. All put together are the 65 notes. So 59 notes out of $1. So just because somebody has 30 notes or 30 bills doesn't make him rich.
Do you see it? So now, what is making you go into heaven to make you rich? We heard him, the same scumbag who is making fun of Christianity, lying about us. You say Shahada, this is $100 note. You pray 5 times a day, this is $25 note. You do Hajj, is a $5 note. You fast or $10 note, and your fast is $5 note. The rest of the notes doesn't count. What is the rest? Not to be a rapist, maybe. Not to be a killer, maybe. Not me, not. But we know in Islam that rape is allowed. You can even rape your wife. Where in the Quran it says don't rape, actually? Nowhere. Where in the Quran it says you cannot do rape? Where in the Quran it says the punishment for somebody sleeping with his mother or his daughter? In fact, in chapter 25, verse number 54, it says, وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا مُصَهْرًا. Open Al-Qurtubi and you will see, you can have sex with your daughter from a daughter which is not your daughter from marriage. It's forbidden for a Muslim to have daughter from marriage to sleep with her. But if she is daughter from a girlfriend, he can sleep with her. So all the rest of the notes, they don't count. What is the rest? All the notes he count, none of them is about being a good human being. What saying Shahada will make me? Good human being? I just said a sentence. What is a praying 5 times a day will make for me? Being a human being? What is the benefit for other mankind? Nothing. What doing Hajj will do? Will make the Saudi rich. And will make me poor. The one who keep posting that a Muslim, he posts Skype. I see it, my friend. Don't you see I have a topic? Just, give me a break. Which one is important now to talk to Muslim? We have the biggest Muslim in front of us. Is he going to do better than Zakir Naik? All of them, they are donkeys. I mean, this is their best donkey. If the best donkey is telling us Islam is not. Christian Prince, this person he posted his Skype. Christian Prince, this person he posted his Skype. Diarrhea. So listen carefully. All the notes will not count. And he is the same one liar saying, we Christians, we believe that Jesus died for our sin, and then we can do all kinds of sin. Can you post Al-Qurtubi? Just open chapter 25, verse number 54, and open Al-Qurtubi. Why I have to do everything for you? Go to us Learning Muslim website at tafsir.com. I just told you where. I told you the name of the book. I told you the page. Can you post for us? You don't want to do anything? So listen carefully. You Christians, you believe that you can rape, you can kill, you can steal, you can lie, you can cheat, and you go to heaven.
Isn't it the same? There is a world of a difference between the two. There's the difference of chalk and cheese. On the face of it, you may think it is the same, but there is a world of a difference. As far as the Christian concept is that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, died for the sins of humanity, this is not mentioned in the Bible. It is the wrong teaching.
Let us check this one first. Does it mention in the Bible that Jesus died for our sin? Christians, did it mention in the Bible that Jesus died for our sin? We have tons of verses, you coward liar. I do not even need to be a scholar in the Bible. Just type, guys, in your Google, Bible verses, Jesus died for our sin. He just said, this is not biblical. In fact, we find this even in the Old Testament. Where? In the Old Testament. Isaiah 53, the forbidden chapter which the Jews hate most. And you can read the translation you like or you don't like. And yes, there is some translation are not good. Very bad, actually. However, you will see all of them agree. This is Isaiah. This is not John. This is not even Jesus speaking now. This is Isaiah. Why he was pierced for our transgression, for our sin. Why he was crucified? For our sin, for our iniquities. Why he was killed? For our bad doing. He said this is not even biblical. If I go right now and type in Prophet Google, peace be upon him, do you think Zakir Naik he have Google? I don't think so. Zakir Naik he don't use Google. He use Jibreel, peace be upon him. He is not a googly person. He is not from a googling. We have hundreds of verses. I mean, the whole Bible is about Jesus dying for our sin. I just type in Google. I did not even search, I mean, I did not do anything. I'm not even doing my own study. I just type in Google, Jesus died on our cross for our sin. And this page have at least 100 verses. This guy, he said it's not biblical. It's not in the Bible. Cannot be found in the Bible. Where in the Bible? Zakir Naik cannot see it in the Bible. Are you kidding me, Zakir Naik? Yes, brother. It's not biblical. Where we can find this? Zakir Naik, can you change your mind, please? It's not for biblical. It's not there. It's a lie. It's a fabrication. Christian friends, find them all. Those verses are not in the Bible. Those are in the internet. Get your butt head. It's not in the Bible. I mean, isn't it clear it's not in the Bible? Why people are blind? That's it. Zakir Naik decide that it's not in the Bible. That means it's not in the Bible. It's easy. Is it easy? Yeah, it's easy. I mean, can we believe how much they lie? Now, lie number 2, which is the biggest one. Christians believe that Jesus died for their sin. They can rape, they can kill, they can lie, they can steal, and that's it. They are going to go to heaven. Continue.
Teaching of the church that they claim that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, Nauz Billah, is the begotten Son of God, and he died for the sins of humanity, which is...
Guys, they claim, well, isn't it the Pilate, he said to him, are you the Son of God? And Jesus said, yes. Isn't it him, he said to him, are you the Son of the Blessed One? And Jesus says, yes, I am. It's the church claim. It is the church claim, not me. I'm waiting for you for 100 years Skype. Okay, I want to take this guy. The one you call yourself Knight? Dawah, I see him. Okay, let me call him, take him. I'm calling you Dawah. Hey, Dawah, it says you are offline. And you are waiting for me for the last 100 years, Dawah? I mean, you are waiting for wrong, brother. So all this drama, you want to talk to me, and then I try to call you, it says Dawah is not online. Come back. Get out of here. Don't waste my time. I'm waiting for you for the last 100 years. Yeah. Are you using the internet of the neighbor, Dawah? Because you are a religious person? Anyway. So here you see how they lie. Number 2. Do we really believe that Jesus, he took our sin away in the meaning that we can do all sin? Or in the meaning that if you believe in Jesus and you follow his command, you are saved? The Bible is so clear. We do not even need interpretation of Ibn Kathir. Let us hear a little more, and then we go to the Bible.
Totally against the teachings of the Bible, and I've discussed that in my lectures. To counter them, we say that if Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, is paid for the sins of human being, that means today I can rob, I can cheat, I can rape, I can do all the sins because
here we see how they lie, those sons of Muta. Isn't it this is the Bible? The potato who was saying, I can show you the mythology. I mean, there's nobody in the world can deny any Christian who don't follow the Bible is no Christian. It doesn't matter what church you go to. The Bible is our law. The Bible is our master. The Bible is our constitution. There's no bishop, it's not Christian prince. But what if a Christian prince says to you, go and sin? Then we throw Christian prince in garbage. Just garbage. He's teaching you satanic teaching. This is the teaching of the Bible. The suffering of the student. Surely he took our infirmities and carried our sorrow. See, even this verse here is explaining what Jesus did. And then we will see that the Messiah make it clear for us that wicked people are not welcome in heaven. Members of Christ, who are they, the members of Christ? Do you not know that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom? Is that in the Bible? And I'm not going to show you one verse. I can show you an endless number of verses. But this is very easy, clear, because it put all sin together in one phrase, like it all together, not just one word sin. Not only just the word sin. Do you know not that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom of God? So a person who believes in Jesus, he wear a cross, but he's a drug dealer. He will go where? He wear a big cross. Actually, most of those big, the bigger their cross, the more the arrows come back. The same as the Muslim, the bigger their beard, the more they lie. The wicked will not inherit. What is the title we see in the top? Members of Christ. How we can be a member of Christ? How you can be in the family of Christ? You cannot be wicked from the beginning. And what wicked mean? Actually, wicked alone mean everything. Do you agree? What wicked mean? Wicked mean anyone who do wickedness. That is everything approved by the devil. Your prophet, he allow you to lie to your wife. Christians, can a man, is he allowed to lie to his wife? I want the Christian to tell me, please. Even if you are not educated. According to Christianity, can we lie to our wife? As men. If you are married, for sure. For me, I cannot lie to her because I don't have one. But if I'm a Muslim and I have 4 wives, I can lie. I can even have secret wives, which means lying about even having sex with other women. We cannot lie. Did Muhammad approve lying to the wife? Yes. You see, we're not talking about somebody dead lie. No. Because all of us in certain time, maybe we did lie. Because we believe all of we are sinners, right? Nobody is here is a saint. But there's a huge difference between somebody lie and somebody says, God told me I can lie. Do you see the difference? Muhammad, he gave a license for lying. In fact, the Muslims, they have something called taqiyya. Even when they debate. Taqiyya is not even in war. Taqiyya in debate. The Shia, they say that the taqiyya is the sword and the arrow and what they call it, the one you defend yourself, you hold it with your hand, like to stop the arrows. Tursu, if somebody can translate. The turs of faith, which means the shield actually, yeah, shield. The shield of faith is taqiyya. What is taqiyya? Chapter 3, verse number 28. You can lie to non-Muslims, speaking to them in a friendly way, while your heart is like this. Am I lying? I show the proof. Speaking to them in a friendly way. You say to them, I'm your friend. We Muslims, we don't hate Christians. We Muslims, we appreciate peace. We don't want to rape your women. We don't want to take your land. No, 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 no. We are following Allah. Allah teach peace, brother. This is the Quran, and this is the official government website of the Kingdom of Jordan, the scumbag of Jordan. You are allowed. This is what the King of Jordan, he do actually. He speak to Christians like he kissed the ass of a Trump when he was a president. He kissed the ass of every Christian leader, if we can call them leaders. Why? Because this is Quran. Saudi Arabia, they invite the American to protect the Kaaba. But the Quran says, take not Christians and Jews as friends. But we are doing taqiyya. We have a license. We can lie. It says here, the funny is, Islam call us hypocrite. Islam call us hypocrite. It says here that the one who take the Christians and the Jews, and he is sincere to take them as a friend, the one who do that, seeking might and honor by taking the hypocrite and the disbelievers as a friends, he has no connection to Allah. If he is sincere. If he is not sincere, he have connection to Allah. Guys, did you see it? People, did you see it? Who is the one who has no connection? If he is sincere. Am I making things up? If you are sincere, brother, to take the Christians and the Jews as a friend, you have no connection to Allah. If you are not sincere, you have connection to Allah. Did I lie? Or I have the reference in the front of you. And this is Ibn Abbas, the cousin of Muhammad. A sincere Muslim is not a Muslim, the verse saying. And then he continue. So if you are a sincere who take me as a friend, you have no connection to Allah, which means you are a bad person because you become sincere. And then he continues saying, he has no honor, no mercy, no protection. We mean we can't kill him, we can't rape his wife, we can take his kids, children as slaves for sex from Allah, unless it be yet guard yourself against them. Save yourself from them. Taking it as it were security, as it is. So, see, I mean, those people that want to be your friends. If they are enemy, they will not say to you, we're friends. I mean, if they want to kill you, they will not accept you to be a friend anyway. So he said to them, I'm your friend. By saying, saving yourself from them, by speaking in a friendly way toward them while your heart is like this. Do you see the devil? Is it sin to speak to a Muslim, saying to him, you are my friend, when in my heart I hate him? Absolutely. In Christianity, you cannot do that. In Islam, you can. In Islam, you should. In Islam, in fact, if you do take me as a friend and you are sincere, you are not a Muslim. It's in the front of your eyes. Wicked a wicked person in Christianity, he have no place in heaven. And we will show you what Jesus said. But let's finish this one. Neither the sexual immoral. I want any Muslim to show me that a sexual immoral in Islam will go not to heaven. Where it says that. In fact, the Quran says it clearly. All sin. We heard him saying Shahada. I mean, the 100 note. I just showed you Zakir Naik. Saying, you say the Shahada, you get the 100 note. Where in the Quran, Muslims, I have a challenge for you. Where in the Quran it says that those who commit fornication will not go to heaven? Any Muhammadan who want to help me? Let us go to the Quran. This is the book of Muhammad. Chapter 4, verse number 48, as an example, not limited, says, Allah forgive all sin except one sin, taking partner with him. I mean, how clear we can make it. And we support what we just said by what Zakir Naik he said. Saying Shahada is a $100 note. Out of 199, you pass, you are going to heaven. So you say Shahada, you are going to go to heaven. You are a fornicator, you are a criminal, you are a liar. What about open license for sin? If there is any proof for it from the Quran? Yes. Let us see the open license for sin which is given to Muhammad as a start. Is that the Quran? Yes. Is that the Muslim translation? Yes. Is that Allah talking? Yes, brother. What he's saying, read. Chapter 48, verse number 2. Open license for past and future sin, that Allah may forgive you your sin, past and to come. Do you see it? But who is talking here? Allah. Why Allah saying, Allah asking other Allah to forgive the sin of Muhammad? That's because Muhammad is stupid. He made the verse, he forgot to switch. That supposedly the one is talking is Allah. So here it appears clearly that Muhammad is making this statement, but he claimed Allah saying it, which then doesn't make sense. But as you see, the past and the one to come. What else? You see, I'm not going to show you Zakir Naik only because Zakir Naik is not the messenger of Allah. We will show you what the messenger of Allah said. Whoever recite this one 100 times in the morning and evening will not be suppressed on the day of resurrection. What he say? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi 100 times. Really? Is that how easy it is? It's easy. Can you find me where in the Bible it says whoever Jesus is God 100 times, he will not be suppressed in the day of judgment? Is that your book? And look, you have to say it in Arabic, even if you are a Chinese. Hey, Brosley, you cannot do that. You have to say it in Arabic. Like, listen, just don't understand, no problem. Just make a sound like mine. Don't make it a big deal. Okay? Just listen. Just repeat after me. Say, Bism. No, Bism. Okay, just to speak. Are you Chinese or German? Why you are hum? What's wrong with you? Just copy the sound. You do not need to understand. Just say as Bism, Bism. Here we go. Now you put your first step in the heaven. Now, Allahi, Allahi. Getting closer. Say it again. Allahi, Allahi. Okay, you are saying it as if you are doing poo-poo. Okay, Allahi, Allahi. Okay, now you're getting close. Okay, now wa bihamdihi. Wa bihamdihi. No. Wa bihamdihi. Wa hamdamdamhi. No, not hamdamdamhi. I mean, is that an address in Malaysia? What's wrong with you? Listen, وَبِحَمْدِهِ. Just say it. You're almost there. You say it, you go to heaven. Just focus. وَبِحَمْدِهِ. What? BHMDD. What DD? This is not Mr. Dean, you idiot. You know, I would give up. You know, hamburger. Pink Panther. So a guy who don't even speak Arabic, he say this 100 times, he go to heaven? And you claim that we Christians, if we believe in Jesus, we just go to heaven, brother. You know, just we can fornicate, we can kill, we can steal, we can etc. Coward liar. Sons of Mutah. No dignity. We have hundreds, if not thousands, in the Bible verses speaking about how sin take you to hell. Not only, actually, we did not finish this one. Let us finish. What will not take us to heaven? Adulterers will not go to heaven. Idolaters will not go to heaven. Sexual immoral will not go to heaven. Homosexuality. Muslims, where in the Quran it says that a homosexual will not go to heaven? Nowhere. In fact, your prophet and his caliphate approved homosexual imams. If we go in the hadith, we will see a bunch of Muslims are tempted by an ass of a sexy imam. He's hot, very hot. And those Muslims, because they are so decent, they got excited. Let us see. As you say, we don't make a statement, we show the statement from their mouth. A group of Muslims, they came to the caliphate, Uthman, and they said to him, you are the leader of the nation now. Look what happened, brother. We have a gay imam, and he is a leader of fitna. Fitna means temptation. And here you're asking, fitna cover everything, not only temptation, like, you know, something will cause problems for the society. Fitna and trial, affliction, etc. Why? What is all of this? What this guy did? He's just praying in the front. Well, he praying in the front, showing his ass, wearing short skirt. In fact, all the Muhammadan who follow Muhammad, they have to wear short jalabiya. Jalabiya is a dress. If the jalabiya cover your, what they call it, in your feet, you go to hell, by the way. Look at this stupid religion. You go to hell for doing that. But you don't go to hell for raping a child. So here, this person is wearing very short dress. When he bend over, they are not wearing underwear. So they see his anus, and it is so beautiful, brother. So they are saying to him, we are afraid of being sinful in following him. Uthman, he said, Salat is the prayer. You see that they lie to you, says the Allah pray, do salah on Muhammad does not mean prayer. When everybody knows that salat means prayer. So Muhammad, Allah, he pray on Muhammad? No, it says blessing, brother. Is the best of deed. So when the people do good deed, do the same of them. And then they do bad deed, avoid it. Okay, as Zuhri said, in our opinion, one should not offer salat behind an effeminate person unless there is no alternative. Al-Bukhari. They approve homosexual imam in the time of Muhammad. Some might say, Well, there are some churches, they approve that. Those are demonic, satanic, and they are no Christians. We just showed you what Christians and teach and what they believe. Anyone who will say to you, you can be a gay and a Christian, he is a liar. You can be a fornicator and Christian, he is fooling you. You can be a cheater, you can be a liar. My friend, the Bible is our just constitution. There's many scumbag. They try to go, satanic people, they go inside our churches and they start spreading their poison between your kids. And the Bible says, whoever bring us any other scriptures than this, let him be cursed. So if somebody says to you, sin is okay, Jesus loves you, he is cursed. Sin is not okay. You will go. You see, when the Bible speaks about the wage of sin is death, it's not talking about death of the body. No, death of the body is nothing. I mean, you die, that's it. The death of the spirit, where the spirit will struggle for eternity in hell. Flesh is a flesh. When you die, your flesh, you feel nothing. They cut your hand, they cut your feet, you feel nothing. The free gift of the eternal life is in Christ. And how you can have it? To avoid sin, to fight sin, to overcome sin. What Jesus said about sin, what Jesus warned us about how to go to heaven. Jesus said, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord. I will open the verse. He will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who he do his will. So we don't have a stupid Shahada in Christianity will give you a license for sin. No, we don't. It's you Muslims who have. You say to Jesus, God, God. And the Muslim, by the way, they say to you, where Jesus says, I'm God, worship me. But that's it. I trained the Christians to tell me one verse in the Bible, they need to tell them God worship me. It just, I mean, without even looking for it, this is what the verse is saying. Not everyone says to me, God, God. And then the Muslim, they start to respond, says, okay, well, you see, Jesus saying, if you call him God, God, you go to hell. Stupid idiot Abdul. He is saying, not everyone, which means many of those who call me God, God will go to heaven, but not everyone. There's an exception. The exception of those who go to heaven and those who don't. Those who don't go to heaven is the one who say it by the mouth, but they do against the action which I command. Do you see it? The one who does the will of my Father. What is the will of the Father? All the Bible is about fighting sin, staying away from sin. The Muhammadan, they claim that Adam, he commits sin. And the Muhammadan, they say, Allah, he forgave Adam from his sin. But if you go to the stupid Muhammad story, you will find that Adam never committed a sin. And this will be another story, because Islam believe in destiny anyway, which means even if you commit sin, your sin is not yours. All those authentic reference, you can freeze the video anytime and you can copy the numbers. You will see Adam and Moses, which is very funny how Moses and Adam, they met. If both of them are dead until the day of judgment. They were debating about who is the reason for sin to go out of heaven? Who is the one who made this mess? According to Moses, Adam is the reason for us to be out of heaven. According to Muhammad, no. And this is a proof that Moses never was a Muslim, as they claim. Because as you see, this is after the death of Moses, and yet Moses believed in what the Christian believe. What the Christian believe? Because of Adam's sin, we are out of heaven. But doesn't mean we are not sinners too. As you see, wounds Noon saying, I know it burned to see Islam is spreading. My friend, Islam is dying. Which country is Muslim? Go ahead, give me the name of the Christian, of the Muslim countries. Saudi Arabia? Just go type right now, nightlife in Saudi Arabia. Kuwait? Type nightlife in Kuwait. Qatar? Go see the slavery and sex slave. Somalia? Brother, Pakistan, Bachabazi, Taliban, Bachabazi. Just type Bachabazi. You bring boys and you make makeup on them and you make them have a skirt and then you F them. Islam is spreading where? Your Prophet himself, he says, Islam. Do you see the banner of my page? Read it. The hadith, Sahih, authentic. Islam will become like a snake. Will go back the same as a snake, as a serpent. Go back to its hole. This is your religion, this is your prophet. Are you accusing your prophet to be a false prophet? Good for you. So here we say that even Adam, when he commits sin, Allah, he made a destiny for him to commit sin. So what sin mean in Islam? Nothing. It's a destiny. It's a destiny. He said to Moses, do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my fate 40 years before my creation? So Adam was not guilty. Allah, the God of Muslims, he's a mad person. He decided to make Adam commit sin. Adam, he cried for forgiveness. And then Adam, he think he is guilty. And then Adam, he will be forgiven. And this is the same for all of us. What about when we do fornication? Do we fornicate by a choice or Allah force us? Read carefully. You fornicate because Allah forced you to fornicate. So when the Muhammadans, they speak about sin, we laugh. Because what's sin? What's sin in Islam? There's no sin in Islam. It's all destiny. Verily Allah has fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in, and which he of necessity must commit. You see the word necessity? You cannot change it. He wrote for you a destiny of fornication. It's not you can make it go up or go down. A Muslim woman, she called a Muslim sheikh and she said to him that she become almost 30 years and she is afraid that nobody will marry her. He said to her, and this is live in the most well-known Islamic Egyptian TV. He said to her, it is written, the Prophet said, it is written in every woman's vagina the name of the one who will if her. Am I lying? And I'm sure then the woman, she went to her bathroom, she opened her legs, and she decided to take a screenshot of her vagina. Read with me, brother. Maybe Christian Prince is lying. Nowhere it says that. Nowhere. Nowhere. On each vagina, it is written. I just use Google translation. I search for it in Arabic. And I use Google translation. It is written in every vagina the name of the one who will if it. You see the translation says wife? No. The one who will if it. Nakihi, the one who, literally. And look at the sheikhs, brother. Look at the sheikhs. Look at, he explained to you. He explained it. It's written there. Brother, just check, take off your panty. Hey girls, Muslims, Take off your panty and tell me if my name is there. Look, this is a religious TV station, brother. This is the Mufti of Egypt, brother. This is the highest authority in the Azhar University. Isn't it so beautiful? Look at those faces. So, subhanallah. They are so handsome. Look at this. Look at those faces. You know, you're going to the zoo. It is written on every vagina the name of the one will if it. It's a destiny. So the woman, she is not the one who choosing who will if her, and the man is not choosing who will if who. It's a destiny, brother. It's a destiny. Every vulva have a wife name. The translation is coming funny. Every vagina has written. My name is written. I mean, translation is coming horrible. This is Islam. Oh boy. Okay. Responding to the suspicion of each vagina written and the name of his wife. I mean, look at this. Oh boy. Yeah. Ma Rabbi Aman. It's so beautiful. It's destiny, sister. Don't worry. You are worried that nobody will if you. You're still virgin? No. It's written there. If you have, if it's written, what he's saying to her, if it's written in your vagina that you will be ifed, you will be ifed. It's a must. Don't even think about it. However, if it's written the opposite, that nobody will if you, there's zero name there, then you will not be ifed. What we can do? It's a destiny. It is a destiny. How easy, and you know, yeah, the Muslim, they say it's not lawful, it's not right to say that a person will pay for your sin. I don't want to forget that too. Look what the Muslim teach. Allah, remember how many times they say to you, is it fair that Jesus, he paid for sin? What fair? This is not about fair. If God want to be fair with us, fair is to go to hell. Fair is to be punished. Fair is not to be forgiven. That's what fair is. Read this one. Allah Apostle said, whoever subhanallah wa bihamdihi, there's a different one from the other one, by the way, every day his sin will be forgiven, even it's more than the foam of the sea. Just say a sentence. What about this one? Let us open this one. Allah will place the sin of the Muslims on the Christians and the Jews. So the Muslims, they sin, we go to hell. This is Islam. Your neighbor sin, Allah will punish you. Why? Because your neighbor is a Muslim and you are a Christian. Allah will put the sin on you, the penalty on you. Read it. And this is Sahih Hadith. There would come people amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection with as heavy sin as mountain. Look how heavy the sin is. And Allah would forgive them. And he would place in their seats or stead the Jews and the Christians. Do you see it? Why is that? Imagine if Jesus said, in the day of judgment, I will take all your sin and place it on the Muslims, on the Hindus, on the Buddhas. How evil is that? The Muslim, they keep bragging, saying, the Quran says, everyone shall pay for his sin. That fact is not exist. All of us, we knew that even if an infant in Islam, he died, he might still go to hell. So why he go to hell if he have no sin? A child, he died. He is an infant. Aisha, she said, well, this child, he will go to heaven because he commit no sin and he did not even reach the age of sin. I mean, just a baby. Muhammad said to her, ha 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 ha, stupid Aisha, pure adventure. It might be the other way. Which means it might be he go to hell. Why? Because Allah made a destiny. It's a destiny. It's not about sin you do or not. It is a destiny. Islam is the most stupid cult ever. Actually, this hadith alone is a proof of Islam to be garbage to anyone who have a little brain. You commit sin, you don't commit sin, it doesn't matter. It is the destiny, because even when you commit sin, it's a destiny. And even when you commit sin, still a destiny have nothing to do with the sin you do, because your destiny, even if it's a destiny, even if the sin itself is destiny made by Allah, which means, let's say you fornicate all day long, it was destiny. But that doesn't mean you will go to hell. No, because it's a destiny if you will go to heaven or to hell, as you see in front of you. All of this is sahih, and the child, he never commits sin. He did not even reach the age of sin. So why he might go to hell? Because everything in Islam is destiny. In Christianity, that is absolutely false. Jesus said, if you don't become like the little ones, if you don't become like those little ones, you will not enter the kingdom of my Father. Do you see the difference? Muhammad is the opposite of the teaching of Jesus. It's not only the opposite, Muhammad is Satan himself. With Jesus, a child, you go to heaven, and with Jesus, you become a child, you go to heaven. And what Jesus meant by, if you don't become like the little ones, he's talking about decencies. He's talking about being pure. You are naive. You don't know what you are doing. You don't know. You're a child. You know what child mean? Is a person is immature. You don't know what he is doing. Which means even if he's guilt, even if he commit guilt, he's just a kid. He's unaware of something called sin. He is just like a little puppy, honest. When you see a puppy, all of us, we love them more than when they are old. Same for children. Let me see Skype if there's any Muhammadan. The Christians who send me messages in Skype, you are not helping me. You're just being dumb. Do you think really I need your message to tell me what to say? So why I'm here? You open your channel. As long as you are good, don't tell me what to say. You open, I want to see Christians actually. I encourage you, all of you. I want to see channels in Spanish, in Italian, in French. Don't sit here and say, a Christian Prince says this. I do not need your support to teach me. This is not what I need from you. If you're already a true Christian, go and do something. When Jesus said, truly I tell you, unless you change and you become like those children, Jesus destroyed every scam and stand of Islam. In Islam, not every child is going to heaven. Why? Because it's destiny. In Christianity, a child who never commits sin, God will be fair with him. Why you want to be judged for no sin you did? Even if it's a Muslim baby, why God will send him to hell? When I say a Muslim baby, I mean a Muslim child by birth, like he's a son of a Muslim family. What he did, he's just an infant. He's just an innocent soul. He committed no crime. He hated nobody. He killed nobody. He cursed nobody. With the Messiah, you do have a reason to go to heaven. And the reason is not just only faith in Christ, but following Christ. In the case of a child, well, he did not do anything. He have no reason to be out of heaven. He have no reason to be in the heaven by act, but the reason for him to be in heaven because he did nothing. Truly, truly, I say to you, Jesus said, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom. And this is actually will give you how big the lies of Zakir Naik, the filthy scumbag, when he say, we Christian, we can do sin, we can kill, we can rape, we can lie, we can cheat because Jesus paid for our sin. When the fact Jesus made a condition, and the condition is so clear. You do the will of my Father. What, why we have the Ten Commandments then? For what? Why Jesus said, go and sin no more? He should go and say, go and sin more. Why Jesus was the best example of no sin? If Christianity is about just believe in Jesus, you will be licensed for sin. So Zakir Naik is a fraud like he's a prophet. No dignity. No truth. They lie to their children, so their children, they will think bad about Christ. Islam is antichrist, is satanic, because this is, you see, this will not affect me as a Christian as much will make Muslims go to hell. This is Satan act. It is Satan act to say Christians believe going to heaven is granted just because you believe in Jesus. You can be fornicator, you can be a killer, you can be a child molester. It is you Muslims who believe in that. $100 note, Zakir Naik said, for saying Shahada alone. You passed the test of 50% to go to heaven. Not my words.
Oh, notes. One note is number 3 notes. If
I will play it from the beginning.
There are total $199 divided into 64 notes. The 64 notes, if you total all the value of these 64 notes, it is $199. and I distribute the notes to a few people. Some get 10 notes, some get 20 notes, some get 30 notes, some get less, some get more. A normal person who may not be aware of the notes and the value will say whoever gets the most notes, number of notes, is the richest person. No, it's not like that. We have to see what is the value of each note.
Unknown. Why you don't call me in Skype and refute me, brother? Brother. I want to call you brother because now supposedly you are saying I am satanic and that make you my brother. If I am satanic, that make me your brother because Muslims are satanic. So why you don't call me and refute me? Refute nonsense, guys. Refute nonsense. I show him the Quran saying that. I show him Zakir Naik saying that. I show him the Prophet saying that. And nonsense. I agree with you, nonsense. This is your stupid Muhammad saying so. This is why it's nonsense. I agree with you. You can refute me. You can refute. Just call me, Mr. Refute me. And let your wife watch what will happen when you call me. So she will be proud of you. And then she will offer to marry me instead of you. Because this is what happened when Muslim women watch their husband calling me. Yeah, and Osama saying to like, get him. Osama, what do you mean get him? Do you think he's a dog? Guys, look what Osama, he said to him. Osama get excited. The one who said the F word to me. Is that, oh, what the heck? Osama, what do you mean by get him, man? Are you sure? Get him. Get him. You know what? You remind me of your God. People, do you know that Allah have a dog? Do you know that Allah have a dog? According to Muhammad, the dummy Muhammad, I mean, dogs supposedly in Islam is a filthy Muslim. They hate dogs. If you have a dog, actually, Allah will take from your deed every day. According to Muhammad, Allah have a dog and he sent his dog to eat his cousin. If you go to the chapter of An-Najm, verse number 1, the cousin of Muhammad, he refused to believe in Allah. The Lord of the Najm, the Lord of the stars, satanic, moon god. Then Allah, he sent his dog to eat the man. Am I lying, Mr. Osama? Get him. Brother, are you sure you want to get, is it you who will get me or the dog of Allah? Huh? I mean, I'm not sure, let me know, okay. Najm. Allah, he have a dog. That's deep. And he will send his dog to eat us, brother. That's deep too. That's deep and sharp. A lot of teeth there. Anyway, maybe I don't want to change the topic, but maybe next time you can remind me. But let me just oh boy. All right. Muhammad, he said, أما تخاف أن يأكلك كلب الله? Aren't you afraid that the dog of Allah will eat you? So Muhammad now, he is trying to confirm or to convert his cousin into Islam. Let me see where we can find this. Here I don't see it. Let us see where we can find it. Okay, maybe in English we can't find it, so we will find it in Arabic. All right. Lord have mercy. This is the Quran. In the Quran, we are talking about chapter of An-Najm, chapter 53, verse number 1. All right? This is Tafsir al-Qurtubi. Page number 493, 494, 495. وَالنَّجْمُ إِذَا هَوَى. Let us see where it says the dog of Allah. You know what? Let us use Google translation right away, not to waste time. Why it's not translating? Translate to English. Okay. Now we search for Allah dog. What the heck? He said to him, aren't you afraid that it will eat you, the dog of Allah? He said to him, be careful not to be eaten by the dog of Allah. See what you did when you said to me, got him? Here we go, you refresh my memory. Allah has a dog, and no. I mean, your God could not get that guy without his dog. I thought dogs are dirty. Why Allah have a dog? And where he live? What he feed him? Pork? He have one dog, by the way, or two? I mean, okay, do the dog have a wife or kids or something? Is he a Muslim dog? Do he pray to Allah? Do he do ablution when he talk to Allah? How Allah he communicate with the dog? Like he speak to him in Arabic? Like, get him. Get him. What a stupid religion. So as you see, this is a pure stupid cult. How many of you is going to download the video I just showed you? I will play one more time the mockery Zakir Naik he said in his religion, comparing his religion to US dollars, and the Shahada is equal to $100 bill. Let me share the link with you so you can save it too, because later we might look for it. Maybe Zakir Naik will take it down. He will say, I did not say that, CP. And you can add it to my video if you are doing the video too.
In these 64 notes, one person who may not be aware of, and I distribute the notes to few people.
From the beginning, hold on.
Divided to make you understand. I'll give you a few examples.
Okay, give me.
Number one, if there are,
you know what, I will play from the beginning so we can understand how life works in Islam, because this video will explain all of Islam for you, all the idea of to being Muslim. So I'll play it from the beginning.
That why non-Muslims who do righteous deed will be put into hellfire, and Muslims who are unrighteous, why should they be put in heaven? We have to understand that what is the meaning of the word righteousness, and what is the meaning of the word that who is a righteous person.
So remember here carefully, he is explaining now what righteous to be in heaven, righteous to be in heaven, just to say Shahada. Do you see what Islam teach? You see, I told you a million times, in Christianity and Islam, maybe we share the same words, but they have different meaning. Righteous in Islam is not to be a good person to others, no. Is to say Shahada, $100 loan. Prayer 5 times. This is this is like $25. Fasting, this is $10. Do you see what righteous? Until now, righteous is have nothing to do with being good person. According to what the Bible teach, righteous is saying Shahada. That alone is more than 50% of righteousness. So listen carefully. This is why I warn you, Christians. Don't think when Muslims, when Muhammadan, those follow Satan, Muhammadan, when they say we are righteous, they don't mean what you think. Don't be stupid. When they say we are against fornication, fornication for them is not fornication to us. Justice for them does not mean justice. Theft, they are thieves. They teach you can steal from Christians and Jews and non-Muslims. So don't take what they say and measure it by the word in the dictionary. Measure it by their understanding of the word. Are we clear on that? So when a Muslim he says Islam is against fornication, you should know that Islam promotes fornication. Legalize fornication. Even being a pimp is legal in the Quran. What Islam does, give fornication a new title, make it court marriage, like muta, zawaj friend, one night stand, travel marriage, student marriage. Like you're a student, you go to a different country, what you do? To prevent yourself, a brother, from doing fornication, you find a girl, you pay her, she sleep with you, she marry you for 2 months, and now you go back, alhamdulillah, and you divorce her. That is nothing but fornication. Because the purpose of marriage is not really having a family, just to F a woman. So they just changed. Muta, what is muta? You hire a woman to F her in return of money, property. And now he is showing you, and I believe this is a very important video. Me, myself, I should download it. Showing you what is righteousness in Islam. Zakir, tell us what righteousness means, what going to heaven happened in Islam.
And Muslims who are unrighteous, why should they be put in heaven? We have to understand that what is the meaning of the word righteousness? And what is the meaning of the word that who is a righteous person? For me, to make you understand, I'll give you a few examples. Number one, if there are total $199 divided into 64 notes. The 64 notes, if you total all the value of these 64 notes, it is $199. And I distribute the notes to few people. Some get 10 notes, some get 20 notes, some get 30 notes, some get less, some get more. A normal person who may not be aware of the notes and the value will say whoever gets the most notes, number of notes, is the richest person. No, it's not like that. We have to see what is the value of each note. In these 64 notes, one note is of $100.
$100.
One note is of $20. The
$20.
$100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners.
Okay.
And Prophet Muhammad is the messenger.
You see, he is explaining righteousness. If you say the Shahada, which is nothing but shirk, which means associating someone with God. According to them, Allah is God, Muhammad is Prophet. But you can see that Muslims are mushrikeen, they are kuffar, they are pagan. They associate a man, his name is Muhammad, making him equal to Allah, and they make him the reason to go to heaven. You have to say the name of Allah and Muhammad is a prophet, and then that alone grant you more than 50% of righteousness to go to heaven, which means you are already in heaven. Continue, Zakir Naik. Saying that sentence alone give you the biggest note Allah printed. Out of the $199, you just receive $100 for saying the Shahada.
The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that Almighty. The number $20 bill, US dollar, is a person who prays 5 times a day. Then there's one $10 note, there is two $5 note. $10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity. $5 note is a person who fasts, and $5 note is a person who goes for Hajj.
That's it.
The remaining
mean nothing.
all if you put together is $140. The remaining $59 are $1 bill. All put together are 65 notes. So 59 notes are of $1. So just because somebody has 30 notes or 30 bills doesn't make him rich. If he has 30 bills of $1, he he has only a value of $30.
You see? So Islam is about this. You say Shahada, you're going to heaven. You do Hajj, you pray 5 times. That's it. The rest doesn't have a value. Having a 50 note doesn't make you rich because they are $1 note. What is those? He did not mention in the valuable note, the 100 note is not about being a person never kill, or never rape, or never cheat, or never fornicate. No, none of them is about this. It's about just saying Shahada. So who is the one who go to heaven just by saying Shahada? It's you, not the Christians. And we have tons of verses from the Bible. We have Abdul in the chat. He says, we respect elder. Is that what your prophet did when he cut a woman 2 pieces, Qurfa, by tying her legs to 2 camels while she is alive? And she is over the age of 86 years old? You respect elder? Isn't it your prophet, he called his parents najis? And his uncle najis? Is that how you respect parents? You respect elder by saying to your mother, a woman she advise and she live in the image of the devil? Well, I challenge you, potato, to print this hadith and to put it in the top of the bed of your mother or her grave if she is dead. I'm sure she will be proud of you because you respect the elders. Who in the world want to accept such a garbage demonic Muhammad? Just because she is a woman, she is Satan. Well, if every woman is Satan, that every man is Satan too, because all of us, we are born of women. She's alive? Okay, no problem, don't worry. The Prophet will lay down with her in her grave when she die, the same he did with Fatima bint Asad. The woman is naked and Muhammad, he slept with her in the grave. What is the excuse? Because you want to make the grave less tight on her. Oh, look how cute. Brother, beautiful woman. Beautiful young woman, she died. Muhammad, he want to lay down with her in her grave. The Prophet said, a woman advances in the form of the devil and retires in the form of a devil. When one of you charmed by a woman and she affect his penis, not heart. You see, look at this scumbag. What heart? What heart? Muhammad was sitting with his friend, a woman walked by, she is not wearing a skirt, she is wearing hijab, she is wearing the burqa. She affect his penis. Go and F your wife. And what the excuse is? She is the devil. Now who in the world, she is a woman and she want to follow a scumbag like this? You women, you should remember this hadith. And you should post it to any woman you see. She is saying Islam is good. This is how Muhammad see the women. In fact, Muhammad, he said it clearly. If no Eve, no woman betray her husband. But remember, the Muslims don't believe in original sin. But then how you accuse, and not only that, they say to you, the Bible accuse Eve that she misled Adam. The Bible say clearly that God punished both. Both are deceived. Eve misled by Satan, and then Eve misled her husband, but doesn't make any difference because they all misled and they are fallen. But Muhammad, he make it clear. If no Eve, no women ever betray her husband. Which means women, they all are the same. Evil, like Eve. It's your prophet's statement, not mine. And as usual, Muhammad, he blamed the Jews for the decay of the beef. Why we have a refrigerator? Because we have Jews. So he blamed every evil in the world for 2 reasons. Women and Jews. Am I lying? The reference in front of you. And the funny is, the scumbag Muhammad, He say women are Satan, yet he have a lot of them in his bedroom. I mean, how they are satanic, and you getting more and more, and you made a license, a special license for your privilege to F as many as you can. This is how we knew that Muhammad is a scam. I will be back in YouTube again, because this video, I believe, is very important. I will come back when this video reach no less than 45,000. Before that, I will not. I want everyone to see how they lie. So if you really care for me to come back tomorrow, make it 45,000 overnight. If you want me to come a week from now, then when it's 45,000. A month, I don't mind. Make it 45,000. And I will be back tomorrow. I want to say thank you. God bless you. Please download the video, share it with your friends. And this is how we get them busted. With no mercy, with the proofs and evidence. And don't forget to say the Shahada, so you can get the 100 note and you go to heaven. With the Christ, you cannot do that. Not everyone says to me, God will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who does his will. And what was the will of the Father? What is the will of the Father? We start from the 10 Commandments, which Muhammad destroyed every single one of them. Muhammad worship idols. He kiss a stone. In fact, Muhammad, he teach that kissing the black stone and touching them erase your sin. Erase your sin. Maybe Christian Prince is not telling the truth. Let us see. Does it say that? It doesn't say that, CP. This is how the Muslim refute me. It doesn't say that, CP. Here we go. The hadith in the front of you, and it is authentic. O Abu Abdul Rahman, why do I only see you touching these two corners? He said, I heard the Messenger of Allah says, touching them erases sin. And I heard him saying, whoever go around them 7 times is like freeing a slave. And here Muhammad is encouraging the Arab who used to free slaves before Islam. Arab, before Islam, when somebody feel guilty, he free a slave, asking the pagan god to forgive him. Muhammad don't want them to do that. He says, just go around the Kaaba 7 times. It's the same as erasing your sin for your, or touching the 2 corners. Muhammad, he saw the Jews fasting Ashura according to the Muslims. And then he said, the one who fasts Ashura, his sin is erased for a year to come and a year in the past. Let me show you. I don't say things without proof. And then Muhammad, when Ramadan came, he suddenly, this day is not important. Okay. Where is the hadith? Let us see. Let's see. And actually, you will see here that Ashura was a day of the pagan. Where is this hadith? Hold on, give me a second. As long as I mention it, I hate not to show it to you. Muhammad, there's no question that he is a curse over mankind. And that curse will affect, for sure, the wicked ones. I'm just trying to find the hadith. Give me a second. Okay. There's many hadith actually, but let me see this one. Maybe we can find it. Read and laugh. Fasting the Shahr of Ramadan erase the sin of the year before it and the year after it. Can you believe it? Ramadan and Ashura, both are the same. Read carefully. The observant of the 3 days fast every month and Ramadan every year is a preparer fast. Seek from God that fasting on the day of Arafah may atone, erase for the sin of the preceding and the coming year. Can you believe it? And the same for the day of Ashura will erase the sin for the coming year. Can you believe it? This is the religion of God. Fasting one day will erase your sin to the year to come and the year past. This is what Muhammad taught. In Christianity, even if you fast the whole year, even if you fast all your life, you are going to go to hell if you don't follow Jesus. It is not fasting will make you a better person to be qualified to go to heaven. Because what the point of fasting of food, but you didn't fast from fornication and fast from lying and cheating and killing and raping. That's why Jesus said, it's not what go inside your mouth will make you dirty, it's what come from your mouth. So my friends, brothers and sisters, Christianity and Islam, they have nothing to share. There's no question that the Muhammadan, they are following the devil. The devil have many names. And the name which is very popular these days is Allah and Muhammad. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. And I will see you soon again. God is good. So is Jesus. And Muhammad is a fraud. So is Satan. Thank you.